EFT is the best thing I ever found. But what I did with EFT is I learned from it. I learned from it and I improved it. Okay, that's all. So when I did EFT, I was taught that I need to be intuitive. I was taught that you needed to be intuitive, and like if Daria is going to come and see me for a session, say she had panic attacks. So what sometimes people would do, and I would do, is I'd write down affirmations about panic attacks. I'd write a script on how to deal with panic attacks. I would have my pre-script written, and I will tap with her with this script. All right? That's how we would do it. All right? This is our system. Because again, I was taught from the system that it's blocked energy. And then, of course, you know, I get emails, weird emails, and just even on Facebook. Somebody said, isn't all the how did they say that? He said, well, there's a teaching in matrix reimprinting that all the data is on the outside of your aura. It's in your auric field. So all the data of all your problems is in the outside of your auric field. And I said, that's not true. I see that unfortunately, this is what Bruce Lipton did, is that, you know, he took a single cell, you know, had this single cell and this single cell, and he said the data is in the cell of the outside of the cell. And for that single cell, that's true. But see, and they say that the environment affects the single cell, which it is true. All right? Now, what he's saying, now we are human beings. Now, we're human beings, and inside of us, how many cells and how much consciousness do we have? Unlimited amount. Unlimited. We're not one single cell. So we got two people in the same environment, and we have tons of cells, and we have also what you call consciousness, which means our conscious can focus here, our conscious can focus there. And what they're saying is that now we do have an auric field around us. We put out an energy. But our consciousness is not coming from our energy field. Our energy field is coming from our consciousness. Oh, you understand that? So, if you have an environment of an abusive mom and dad, and you have 5 to 10 children, or even 2, how come they all don't act the same? Because they have consciousness. And they can negate and focus and choose and move, unlike 2 single cells. Our data is not in our auric field. Our auric field is produced from our data within. See, there's a big difference. And so now, of course, there's the matrix reimprinting, and they're saying it's all in your auric field. It's all floating around in some imaginary matrix, instead of the matrix inside of our head, which is our own data and our own resources. Okay? It is in your mind. And what's in your mind, you can change your mind, and by the way, your aura would change. Because we have an energy system, which means the food we eat is broken down and turned into usable source. Okay? So there is a difference here. All right, so we have consciousness. That's the biggest thing that we want to understand. All right? Now, by the way, quantum physics, quantum teachings is almost, it's almost like my opinion, this is my personal opinion, it's like a spiritual teaching. It's almost like the Quran or Jesus or any of these other spiritual teachings. You got to be taught to believe this. Now, I do know this, and they've done it scientifically. They open the skull up, the person is conscious, and they'll take probes and touch parts of the brain, and guess what happens? Memories appear. You could take a probe and put it out here in your auric field, and you'll probably be looking silly. Okay? It is in our brain, it is in our unconscious, and it's on our cortex. So that's just, I get these questions, and I think, where did you get these ideas from? And I think, who's teaching this stuff? And so I took matrix reimprinting class, trying to figure out where is this coming from, you know? And of course, if Daria had 1,500 traumas, beatings, abuses, and traumas and all this stuff, there's 1,500 little echoes floating around in this imaginary matrix field. Now that system is dividing of the self. That means Daria has to go in there and find each one of them and make peace with it. And here's a weird thing about it. All the bad people have all them things floating around too. So then they could meet out in this gigantic matrix party and beat each other up or whatever they do. So it's just weird stuff. Now, by the way, this is a belief system. What we do in FasterEFT, we operate with the basics. What's the basics? One, you're born. Before you were born, they had problems. Right? They had problems. The stage was set. They had the problems. You're born in that environment. And from that environment, you learn how to deal with them. You create your coping skills. You create your value system. And from this value system, you start operating within the world. And from the operation within the world, you have a tendency to find people to dance with. Repeating a pattern. Program over and over again. Isn't that right, Doria? That right, Catherine? Aren't that right, Robert? We have a tendency to reuse our programs over and over again until somebody comes in and throws a monkey wrench in there and adjusts a memory or two. The next thing you know, you'll start acting and performing differently. It's all within your unconscious. It's all within your own mind. So we have a tendency to use our real programs that we've experienced in our life, and we keep replaying them until it either kills us or we decide to change it and heal us, create something better. All right? So these are just different belief systems and understandings. Now, if you come to see me, Daria, or Ivan, and Ivan believes in past lives, and she believes in aliens, and she believes that it was because of the apple, Maria, Saint Maria, Mother Maria, it was the apple and that's sin. And then some of them believes that it's a virus from an alien ship. If you come to see me, you know what I will say? Tell me more. I don't argue with you. I don't say it's true, it's not true, because it is true for you. And I work with you and I adjust to you. And all we do is we make adjustments, because again, remember, the unconscious mind is a metaphoric machine. It'll give you a pain in the jaw just to remind you of your past. It'll give you an issue because of this. It will do this because it's the unconscious metaphoric machine. Now again, since we know that there's 5 types of memories, the brain may use one and only use one, and that's feelings. So you're controlled by all your feelings. All right? Or it may use pictures, or it may use all 5 of these memories to create and manifest. Since you're trained in FasterEFT, we know the brain can use 1, 3, 5. It'll use a combination to manifest and create the problem. We know that. So we go in and we make the adjustments. We adjust to that individual according to whatever it is they do. So that's the basics. We understand this. Even though Bruce Lipton says this, he does go on to say other things that are very logical and practical. But this is the one piece that is, they're building a system on this one, not this one, and that's some of the other things. All your problems are floating around in some imaginary field out there, and that's not really true. It's in your head, and what's in your head creates your field. And you change what's inside your head, your aura, your energy field, your attitude, and your behaviors will completely change. Yeah, it's interesting. I like energy people. They're really fun. Definitely good entertainment. All right.
Set